Hey everybody, it is a Sunday morning and you know what that means. It's time for another week in my life. Nothing particularly special happening this week that I can think of off of the top of my head, but it is going to be a full one with clinic, class, outside activities, packing, and lots more. Already this weekend, I actually started the packing process for my move in December. You can see my progress right there. Not much, I know, and most of my stuff is still out here, but I promise it was several hours yesterday morning of unloading this guy right here. And now that it's Sunday, it's time to go to church, see some friends, play some Dungeons and Dragons, and hopefully get a little bit of homework done. We'll see about that last one. Yesterday, I also baked this pumpkin chocolate cake, which you cannot see very well right now, but I will insert a photo of right here. I always hesitate to make a big batch of brownies or cake or something because I don't want to eat it all.
I mean, I do,
but like none of my clothes would fit me if I did that. So I try to make them when I know I'm gonna see a lot of people. And today, between Dungeons and Dragons and my Bible study group, which is coming together for a brunch this afternoon, that should all get eaten, hopefully. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready for the day I'm excited to spend this week with you. Here is your weekly reminder to subscribe. You can go ahead and do that while my intro is playing. I won't make you guys go through the really awkward process of watching me put my makeup on, and part of the reason is it's actually not going to take me that long at all. I found a new makeup brand, I think through another YouTube channel that it had sponsored. It's called Merit, and as far as I can tell, it is the closest a nice makeup company has ever come to actually promoting a no makeup look, which is my preferred way of wearing makeup when I even do. It's been hard the last 2 years because you know, a mask just like wears half of your makeup off, so kind of what's the point? But Merit has a set that I recently purchased comprising of a brush, a mascara, a brow gel, and this, I don't really know what it's called, but basically it's like a blemish stick. So it's kind of like concealer, but it acts as your foundation. Of course, I'm the widest shade that they have, but I will briefly show you how that works. So I have a zit right here, and then I'll go ahead and do under my eyes as well. So normally if this was just concealer, I would probably feel uncomfortable just doing that without any foundation, but this blends out so nicely. It really does look like it's just my skin. So I can wear as little or as much as I want, and it will really even out the redness in my skin tone. Ta-da! I know this probably isn't the best light to tell, but you can see that under here and here, it's a little less dark. I naturally have really dark under eyes. And then here, my little red spot is gone. And it doesn't look splotchy or like I have a product in some places, but not other places. Anyway, I really recommend this brand. I'm not sponsored or anything. I don't have nearly enough subscribers for that. But I thought I would let you guys know that I found something cool that I really enjoy, and maybe you would too. And makeup's all done. Time to go brush my hair, my teeth, grab my stuff, and head to church. We're a couple minutes late to church, but we're gonna be there soon. Just let out. It was actually a really good message about creating margin and space in your life to allow God to work and to not allow your spirit to be cluttered. So we talked about what the pastor called the rules of margin in the Old Testament, including Sabbath and gleanings and tithing. And I really liked it. I'm kind of repeating it right now not just for your benefit, but for mine so that I don't forget about it. Now I'm on my way to meet a friend at something I think is called Veg Fest. It might be, it might be Veg Fest. I don't really know, but I think it's supposed to be for vegans, like a lot of vegan food and things like that. But I figured they'll probably just have good produce that I can buy for the next week. So I'm gonna go to Forest Park, meet up with my friend, and then we're going to brunch with friends from this church. So it should be a good time. Forest Park is very big, but one thing it does not have a lot of is designated parking spaces. Most of it's on the street. So hopefully we don't have to walk too far to the place where this festival is happening. And I guess this is the festival. What I thought I'd be getting at the vegan festival? No. But am I mad about it? Also no. Hey Hans.
You're gonna get my very bad picking up skills here.
This is my friend Hans.
Hello.
Former subscriber, current friend.
Yes.
We just
Number one fan.
No, honestly.
Hey vlog.
I'm gonna go hijack the school's internet for an hour since I don't have any at my apartment. Got my computer and just here for a short errand. The brunch was so nice, getting to see everybody and hang out with my friends. My friend who was at the festival with me, oh my gosh, these doors are so heavy. She came to the brunch as well as some of my other friends. You met one of them, Hans, who is so funny. He was a subscriber and I think commented or emailed me or something saying that he was coming to the school this year and was looking forward to meeting me, and I kind of forgot about it. And then at a Carver Project event, he came up to me and introduced himself, and ever since, like, we run into each other on campus all the time, and he's always introducing me to new people as like the famous YouTuber. But that brunch group used to be a Bible study. Sorry for the shifting, I'm trying to get in my car here. But yeah, so the people who were putting on that brunch used to do a Bible study that I went to really regularly my 1L year. It was a really important place and group of people to me, so the fact that I can reconnect with them for at least another couple weeks before the end of the semester is something that I'm really grateful for. It is really dark in here. I will catch up with you guys in a little bit back home. I have chocolate on my face for the entirety of the next segment. Isn't that so great for me? So you obviously just watched a sped up version of my planning process for the week, but I can see based on the timer on my camera of how long I've been filming that this took me almost 10 minutes to do. So what I did first was filled in all of the things that I knew off the top of my head, like when my book club is, my Bible study is, a dinner that I have scheduled with the friends, and a couple of my to-dos for the week. Then you saw me check on my syllabi as well as Canvas, our online instruction and course tool, I guess, to see what the homework was for the week. Both of my classes have changed or given me new information the last couple of days about what my homework would be, so I had to kind of do some cross-referencing there. But I think we are done now. It is going to be a busy week. We've got closings in my child practice class. That's something that I'll need to write and maybe practice on you guys later. I also have a mid-semester evaluation with my clinic coming up this week. I know that some of you are really interested in hearing about the work that I've been doing with the clinic and how that ties into my goals to be a prosecutor, and that is definitely something I'm going to be addressing before the end of the semester, don't you worry. I've been meaning to get information about the Illinois bar, which I'm planning to take the universal bar exam, but I am gonna probably do it in Illinois to demonstrate to employers there that that is the target market that I'm going after. I'm cat sitting at the end of the week, as well as volunteering to act as a timekeeper for my friend's moot court competition. So on top of just classes and clinic work, we have a lot of meetings and extra things going on. I can't believe it's still Sunday. I feel like this vlog is already so long, and I really am planning to do a full week for this one, all the way through next Saturday. So no skimping Monday through Thursday like I've done in the past. You guys are really getting a full 7 days of me, so hope you are prepared for that. I am most likely going to be signing off for the night here though. It is 5:10 and I've got about 45 minutes to do dinner stuff, get ready for D&D, and hopefully read a little bit of this book that I've got going on for book club. My meeting is tomorrow and we're reading a book called Never Let Me Go. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the author's name. That's a bad idea. It's a dystopian fiction novel. I'm really enjoying it so far. We're only about 6 chapters in. You can see I have quite a ways to go, but we're just reading another 3 chapters for tomorrow. So I'm gonna do that for the rest of the evening on top of the other things previously mentioned. And I will see you guys tomorrow, unless something crazy happens that I have to fill you in on in the meantime. Good morning and welcome to Monday. It is almost 10 a.m. I have just been getting ready for the day and working on some stuff for my clinic. I usually spend Mondays completely on clinic work and then doing my book club at night. So no plans to go anywhere today. Hence the very frumpy outfit and hair. I just have 2 Zoom meetings with people who don't care what I look like. So that is what is explaining this situation. As I mentioned yesterday, I have a mid-semester evaluation with my clinic directors this morning. So I'm assuming that that means that we're just gonna talk about what I've been working on for the last 2 months or so and have them evaluate my performance, anything I can be doing better, what I'm doing well. In any other clinic, I might expect that they would talk about the hours that I have and have not completed, but this clinic is brand new and the directors are new to working with WashU, and so they've shown that they're unfamiliar with the process of how hours go, so I would not expect them to talk about that, but I can talk about it a little bit with you. For WashU, every credit hour is supposed to be something like 3.5 hours per week. So because I'm taking 6 credit hours through this clinic, which is the standard for WashU, that is 18 plus 3, 21 hours a week. Is that right? That's kind of a lot. It's 3 7-hour days, which I don't always have. So usually what I try to do is get as many hours as possible on Monday between like 8 and 10. Get as many as I can on Tuesday. Again, it would be great if I could hit that number. I do not always succeed. and then between Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, make up whatever's left until 20. All that to say, a lot of law school clinics especially, but also certain legal practices where billable hours are relevant, are very dependent on time management. I find this really challenging, especially in a work from home scenario, but I know that it will get done because I don't have the option to just not get 6 units this semester. So today, to fill up those hours, I'm doing my mid-semester evaluation. I'm also working on a parole packet for a client, probably reading some transcripts and general case documents on the clients that we have to familiarize myself with those cases even further. And I also might get into a clemency petition. I don't want to get into the specifics of all those things or the clients and their cases because, to be honest, I'm not totally sure where the line of attorney-client privilege is yet. You'll get a much more detailed explanation of all of that in a later video this semester. Not sure how much of a vlog today is gonna really entail since I'm just sitting on my couch, but I will definitely check in with you guys later today. And in the meantime, maybe we can do a little bit of work together. I don't know what I was thinking earlier. I definitely have class today. I think last week my professor was speculating that this week our class might be on Zoom, so maybe in my head I was just like, I guess I don't have class, but that's not correct. So I'm gonna need to actually get ready, and I will have less hours done today than I originally thought I was going to for my clinic. But while I'm talking to you anyway, and speaking about the clinic, my mid-semester evaluation went really well. Turns out I was correct regarding the hours. They didn't really get into that. I think they are relying on the students more than themselves to make sure that we have all of our hours in, which is fine. They actually started the evaluation asking me for my feedback regarding the clinic and things that I would like to experience before the semester runs out. Otherwise, they had really positive things to share with me. They said they were enthusiastic about the questions that I had, that they were glad that I seemed to be enjoying the process and taking initiative and responsibility for the different cases, even though it isn't necessarily the work that I plan to do in the future. And something that really made me happy was how they talked about me learning to be an advocate in so many different scenarios, even if it was outside of, a court situation. I think I'm gonna keep working for at least another 3 hours, so I at least get 5 hours of work in today, if not maybe 6 if I can do one more before I go to bed tonight, which probably shouldn't be an issue. So I'm gonna go ahead and get back to work. Just so none of you accidentally think that I'm cooler or more put together than I actually am, putting a hat on is the extent of my getting ready for class. The rest of the outfit has not changed whatsoever. wrote an impromptu introduction of a closing argument for an insurance case in case I happen to be cold called for this in class. Literally did this in 5 minutes, so it's probably not all that great, but I thought I would share it with you guys. It's just a minute long, so bear with me. Money won't bring John Dixon back. Which one of you would trade a loved one for $100,000? For $200,000? For $1 million? Not one of us. And John Dixon was smart enough to know that. He was loved enough to know that. And he was happy enough to know that. John did not trade his life for $100,000 like the defendant insurance company would like you to believe so that they don't have to pay out on their promise. He was taken from his friends, his community, his wife, for something a lot less valuable than that. A broken shotgun. And that's what this case, that's all that this case is about. I don't know, I thought it was pretty good. Just low-key eating like half of a potato for dinner because that's all that I had prepped in my fridge, and I have 3 minutes until I need to leave. And it was for the road, and we are out the door. Welcome to your second debrief in the car of the week. Welcome to your second debrief in the car of the week. Class just ended, and turns out I have no book club tonight because nobody else can come, which happens sometimes, and that's okay. Class was basically just going over closing arguments. We watched a demonstration from my adjunct professor, and then talked through kind of how to prepare, what to do, what not to do, things like that. This trial practice class is all about exactly what it says, practicing different elements of trial. So every week we have direct examination or cross-examination or an expert witness or opening or closing. It's always something different, but we're getting to the end of the semester, so next week is our last topical thing that we're doing, and then we have 2 full trials on different cases. One is going to be a bench trial that we just do in class, and the other one is going to be a full jury trial with, I think, volunteer high school students at the actual courthouse. So that will be our final assignment in lieu of a final exam. I'm very excited about that. Anyway, it is 6:50, so I'm gonna head back home. It actually kind of works out that book club was canceled because I still would like to do another 2 hours of clinic work tonight, and I think that's pretty much all that we're going to be doing. Just working, might eat a little bit more food since my dinner was more of a snack, shower, get ready for the next day. Nothing too crazy, but per usual, I'll check in if something unexpected happens. Otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow. Morning, it's Tuesday. It's pretty late in the morning. I've just been getting ready, eating, nothing crazy happening. I'm actually about to go to the school. Normally I would stay home all day on a Tuesday, but I have a lunch meeting at the school that I have to go to regarding the Illinois bar exam, which I think I told you about earlier in the week. And then I have a case meeting, which is going to be on Zoom for my clinic, and it's just easier to use the Wi-Fi there if I'm going to be there anyway. And then I'm meeting my friend for dinner, not at the school, but out and about. So I'm probably just gonna stay at the school for the entire afternoon. Also, I need to watch a video for my corporations class. Normally we read a couple cases and that's our homework, but this week he created a video lecture he wants us to watch instead and then take a quiz on. So I'm gonna do that this afternoon. I was able to do 6 hours of clinic work yesterday. Today, between the meetings and the late start, we are not quite gonna get to what my normal goal for a Tuesday would be, but if we can end the day at 12 hours for the week, I think that will be fine, since I'm planning on spending all of Friday doing clinic work as well. You might be noticing throughout this video that I have a few less decorations up and that I'm trying to be more clean in my space than you might have seen in previous videos. That's all because 1, I'm packing, and 2, related to that, there are people coming in to view my apartment so that it can be leased out to somebody else when I'm gone, which is fine, that's normal, but I obviously don't want it to be a mess, because the sooner that somebody sees it and likes it and applies for it, the sooner that I don't have people coming in all the time. Getting a little chilly outside, so I'm gonna grab a warmer jacket to put over the sweatshirt. I'll get my other stuff, my lunch, and then we'll head on over to the school and do some work. Sorry, I keep touching my hair. I'm trying really hard to keep it off of my face because I have this giant zit on my forehead. It doesn't look as red as it did like even an hour ago when I first woken up, but it hurts so bad, and it's been there for like 3 days. Hopefully by the end of this vlog, our little friend is gone.
On Tuesday, the essays are administered. Will consist of 2 MPT questions and 6 MEE questions. Day 2 is MEE day, 100 questions in the morning, multiple choice, and 100 multiple choice questions in the afternoon.
After studying a little while in a common area, a private room opened up, so I have bunkered away in here. You guys have seen rooms like this in other videos before, but in case you're curious, I'm standing at the door and this is the entire room. It was kind of left as a little bit of a mess for me, but I can't complain too much. So what I've got going on here is some of my corporation's homework. Like I said, we have to watch a video. This is just kind of the slides from that. And I've been taking notes / doodling as we go. Learning a lot more than I ever cared to know about assets and liabilities in corporations. I know it looks like I'm in the same place, doing the same thing, and that's because I am. It's 3:45, and I finally just finished not even all of my corporation's homework, just this part of it, which was the video and the quiz. That took me a lot longer than it honestly should have, but here we are. So I have like an hour until I need to leave for dinner to do an hour of clinic work and then do several hours tonight, I guess. We are definitely not gonna get to 6 hours today. There's no way. I mean, I'd be lucky to get 4. That's probably not realistic. I think I can push for 3. I'll hope for 4, but we'll see. That's really not good to only have 9 or 10 hours by the end of Tuesday, but it's still doable. We really can't get further behind than we already are. That will not be good. So I'm gonna shut up now and work on this clinic stuff. And then, shoot, what am I can't even, see, I'm saying that and I know that I have more corporation's homework to do. I guess I can do that tomorrow morning though. I guess we'll find out. I'll check in with you later and tell you what's going on. Finally time to get out of here and go eat some pizza. Whoop, whoop. I'm stuck behind this train that has straight up just stopped. So delayed pizza for me. Oh my gosh, update. Can you see that? There's another freaking train behind this one. What is this? What is this universal conspiracy to keep me from eating dinner? What's up, guys? After like almost 15 minutes of waiting at that train, I finally gave up and went around, and by that time I was late and hungry, and so I just ate my pizza and didn't even think about filming. But it was really great. If you're ever in St. Louis, Pizzeria de Gloria, I think it's called. I'll put the little logo right here. Is super good. It's my favorite pizza that I found here in St. Louis. Would highly recommend. Now I'm back home. Like I said earlier, I would like to get about another 3, maybe 3.5 hours of clinic work done. I'm basically just gonna keep on reading the same trial transcript I was reading earlier. I got a little chocolate cake to keep me company, and I think that's gonna be it for today. Tomorrow we've got a lot of corporations happening. Homework in the morning, class and outlining in the afternoon, and then a little bit of writing our closing argument in the evening. A lot of good law school content happening tomorrow, but I think we're gonna close out today for now. See you guys in the morning. And just like that, with the magic of video editing, it's Wednesday. So last night didn't go exactly to plan. Instead of getting a bunch of clinic work done, I actually had a really important networking phone call out of the blue. That was amazing, and if anything comes of it next year, I'll tell you all about it. Later in the evening, I started not feeling super great. I'm gonna blame the cake and my ever-lurking probable lactose intolerance that I just keep on ignoring. It's okay because I got up early this morning and I have 4 hours before class and just a little bit of homework to do. So I probably will spend about 45 minutes doing homework and the rest of the morning catching up on clinic stuff. I still should finish the end of the day where I would have yesterday, and since I wasn't planning on doing any clinic work today, it'll all even out. And I could have just done all of this anyway and let you believe that I had done what I said I was going to do last night, but I wanted to share it because a really big reality of living in law school is that your assignments change, your priorities change, your time management changes, all on a day-to-day basis, and sometimes you do have to rework your schedule to accommodate for things that come up or don't go as planned, whether intentionally or unintentionally. This schedule shifting is something that I do all of the time, and it's really not that big of a deal. You just have to kind of know where you can move hours around in your week. So it's about 8:30. I'm going to grab my breakfast, which is a special treat that I found at the Veg Fest the other day. I got some of this green juice, which normally is not a thing that I would even try, but they have free samples and it turned out to be really good. So I think it's gonna expire today, which is why I need to drink it now. And that'll be great because I'm not even that hungry. I'm gonna try to tackle the day with some healthy stuff in my system. Hey guys, so I have low-key forgotten to film all day. It is 5:30 and I think the last time you saw me it was about 10 a.m. But basically all that I've done all day long is corporations. I did corporations homework in the morning. I did do the clinic work that I talked about. I ate my leftover pizza for lunch. Then I went to corporations for class, and then I spent the last 3 hours doing corporations outlining with my friend, none of which I really can film anyway. Right now I'm actually going to go over to Whole Foods to do some grocery shopping. That wasn't something I really thought about before this afternoon that I needed to go do, but it is because otherwise I have nothing to eat for dinner today. So we're going to go grab a couple groceries. You guys know I usually go to Trader Joe's, but Whole Foods has better turkey and chicken, and that's mostly what I need to buy on top of some little things like eggs and lettuce and tomatoes, I think. Nothing too crazy. It shouldn't be more than like 2 grocery bags full. That was a really loud truck that just started. After grocery shopping and dinner, I'm going to work on that closing that I have to deliver tomorrow. I probably will check in with you in a couple hours after I've done my grocery shopping and dinner so that we can talk more about that closing and the rest of the homework that I'm going to be doing tonight and this week. It is inappropriately late at night, so I will go over my closing with you guys tomorrow. I did work on it. I think it's actually pretty good. I haven't spent all evening working on that though. If I'm honest, I spent several hours listening to a Taylor Swift podcast and I'm not ashamed of it. I can't believe it's already gonna be Thursday. A slight angle change and 8 hours later, it's Thursday. You might imagine from the wet hair what I've been up to this morning, just getting ready, taking a shower. Also had to go back and forth on the phone with the doctor a couple times because they decided not to refill a prescription and not tell me. So that was fun. That aside, I have to be at the school in about an hour for my clinic class, which turns out today to be entirely online, but they said I could still go into the classroom and Zoom from there, so that is what I'm planning to do. Trying to think what else is going on today. I know that there is a women's workwear clothing swap being put on by Women's Law Caucus, which is a student organization here at WashU and probably at a lot of other law schools, I would imagine. So that's fun. I have a couple clothes waiting over by the door to donate, and maybe we'll find something fun too, but honestly that's not the goal. I mostly just want to get rid of things in my apartment that I don't need as I'm packing and trying to consolidate. Then I have corporations again, which I still need to do the homework for, but it looks like it was only 5 pages of reading, which I can definitely knock out pretty fast. So that might happen over lunch, or actually, I might actually do that right now. Anyway, let me finish telling you what's happening for the rest of the day, and then I probably will do that. That seems like a good use of my time this morning. After class, if I'm remembering right, I don't have anything else until my next class, which is at 6, so that gives me about 3.5 hours of a gap. Normally, I do stay at the school for that 3.5 hours, and I just work on homework, but today, I don't have a ready-to-go dinner made, so I think I'm going to come back here after my afternoon class, make dinner, do homework, whatever, and then go back to the school for the evening. Probably in that afternoon time is when I will go over the closing that I wrote with all of you. That alone is gonna make this vlog so much longer than it probably should be and already is. Honestly, it's a really busy day. This semester, Thursdays always are for me. I like it because I prefer to be productive, and sometimes I need a schedule that's going to make me be productive. It's very easy in law school to do any minimal amount of work and feel like that was enough for the day and justify laying on the couch for several hours like I do regularly. Anyway, speaking of the couch, I'm gonna plop down over there, get this corporation's homework done, maybe continue to get ready a little bit. Drying my hair might be a good option. And I will see you guys over at the school in a little bit. What's up guys? I'm gonna talk quietly so as to not draw unwarranted attention to myself. Okay, maybe warranted, unwanted attention to myself. I'm just sitting here eating my salad that I picked up at Whole Foods last night. And I went to the women's clothing drive. I found a dress and a pair of pants. They're sitting right there in my KFC bag. I will try them on for you guys later. They're really cute, and it's so nice to get stuff like that for free when you have the opportunity. I actually have class in just like 7 minutes, so I've been calling the doctor, texting my parents, figuring out logistics for the clinic, going to the clinic meeting, just running around like a crazy person. I'm gonna finish my lunch really quick and then go to class. Oh my gosh, I'm so annoyed. The doctor who was supposed to refill my prescription apparently totally changed my prescription, which has been the exact same for 3 years, and made it a different dose, so that it won't be as effective for literally no reason and without telling me or the pharmacy. So I just drove all the way over there, and the pharmacist was like, I don't think you should take this. I'm gonna call the doctor and see if I can figure it out for you, but that's so annoying. I'm gonna go home, make dinner, work on my homework, and then I guess hopefully they resolve it in the next couple hours, and then I can come back before class, because the I don't know, maybe tomorrow morning. I'm not really sure what to do. That's really frustrating. I'm fully aware that this is recording from the wrong angle, but I have to drive to school because I spent a lot longer of a time cooking dinner than I thought I would and didn't have a lot of time to practice. So I practiced twice, which is not sufficient, and I thought I would try to practice very informally on my drive. This is really not going to be my best presentation, you guys. Wow, it's going to be a rough one, but sometimes that's how it goes. So you'll at least hear some of the content, but probably a lot more uhs and ums as I'm processing, driving, which is the main focus right now, and also trying to remember my outline that I clearly don't have in front of me. So without further ado, here we go, my closing. In case you're wondering, it's a civil action, a fake civil action, not based on anything real, about a accident where a car hits a pedestrian, and there is conflicting testimony about if the pedestrian was in the crosswalk or out of it. I am arguing for the plaintiff, so the pedestrian, saying that he shouldn't have been hit. So anyway, all that to say, there's the introduction. Now I'm gonna try to figure this out. Okay. On May 8, 2019, Charles Schrackle did something we probably all do every day. In fact, you probably did it many times today on your way to the courthouse. He made a left-hand turn. And in doing that, Mr. Schrackle wasn't trying to hurt anybody. He's not a bad guy. But the fact is that when he made that left-hand turn without paying attention to all of the relevant details, without looking at his surroundings, he did hurt somebody. He hurt Mr. Williamson so badly that Mr. Williamson isn't even able to sit here in the courtroom with us today. His life is forever changed because of that accident on May 8. Dang it, I already forgot the next part. And all this happened because Mr. Schrackle failed to act as a careful driver that day. He could have and should have seen Mr. Williamson. All he had to do was look. And all you have to do to help the two parties settle this dispute today is decide whether Mr. Schrackle was being a careful driver when he hit Mr. Williamson in broad daylight with no obstacles in the way. You've heard a lot of testimony today about where Mr. Williamson was in the intersection. And there's a reason for that. Because if Mr. Williamson was in the intersection, if Mr. Williamson was in the crosswalk, your job is really easy. It would be pretty hard to come up with a scenario where someone is being a careful driver and turns into people in the crosswalk who are crossing at the appropriate time to do so. That's why the defense is trying so hard to get you to believe that Mr. Williamson crossed half the street in the crosswalk, then in moments decided to turn south, walk 20 to 30 feet that way, and then cross the other half of the street. This inexplicable decision is their only hope to put the blame on Mr. Williamson, who once again was crossing the street in the middle of the day on a green light with no obstacles blocking Mr. Schrackle's view of him. The defense believes that by telling you that Mr. Williamson was not in the crosswalk, that your job is going to be more complicated. But that's not correct. Because NEDA law says that even if a pedestrian is not in the crosswalk, drivers have a duty to drive carefully, to avoid collisions if they can. And Mr. Schrackle could have avoided the collision that day, regardless of where Mr. Williamson was. I asked you in jury selection if any of you had ever jaywalked. And of course, all of you, including me, raised our hands. Of course, we've all jaywalked. And when we do that, we're not giving drivers on the road permission to mow us down in the middle of the street,
just because we're not in the crosswalk. They still have a duty to not hit us if they can help it, or it's their fault. I want to talk to you about the witnesses that you've heard from and what specifically you were listening for in their testimony. You've probably all seen a movie or a TV show, or several, that have used the phrase in a courtroom scene, proof beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, I know by me saying that, it just put the phrase in all of your minds, but I want you to do your best to not think about it again for the rest of this trial and for your deliberations. Because the burden of proof today is lower than that. The burden of proof today is something called preponderance of the evidence. More likely than not, what probably happened. And that's because while Mr. Williamson's life is on the line in many ways, no one's going to jail as a result of your decision. So when I ask you to remember the evidence and analyze it in your own minds to determine what you believe happened on May 8th, I'm not asking you to analyze that with certainty. Your job today is to tell us what you believe probably happened. The defense also has a burden to show you that Mr. Williamson was somehow at fault in this situation, either partly or in whole. And if at the end of closing arguments and when you go back into the jury room, you believe that at least 51% of the evidence shows that it was Mr. Williamson's fault, then you're going to have to assign percentages of blame to each party. But I don't think you're going to have to do that. I think when you get this sheet, you're going to be able to write 100% liable next to Mr. Schrackle's name and hold him responsible for the harm that he caused to Mr. Williamson's body, mind, family, career, and life. Because all Mr. Schrackle had to do to prevent the accident that day was look. Now, what could have stopped him from looking? You heard from Officer Robin Young that not a thing would have blocked his view in that intersection, that the median was clear, that there's no big trees or bushes that Mr. Williamson could have been hiding behind. There was no reason for Mr. Schrackle not to see him. In fact, he had the time to see him. He had to wait for another car to pass. He was sitting and waiting for at least several seconds where he could have and should have looked around the intersection and seen the different participants in that situation. And even if Mr. Williamson wasn't in the crosswalk, the furthest anyone puts him away from the middle of the intersection is 20 to 30 feet. 20 to 30 feet. For those of you who are football or arithmetic fans, that's 10 yards. But it's not really that far. It's certainly not far enough to not be able to see somebody in time to avoid hitting them. But Mr. Schrackle didn't see Mr. Williamson. Why is that? Well, Mr. Schrackle actually didn't see several things that were going on in the intersection that day that you heard about. He didn't see a car in the northbound lane of Mattis, for one, but you heard from Taylor Kelly that she was sitting there at a red light and saw Mr. Williamson crossing the crosswalk. You also heard from Mr. Schrackle that he saw 3 children on one corner and a crossing guard in another, but you didn't hear from him anything about the child that the crossing guard was talking to about not crossing the street in the middle of a busy intersection, almost getting hit by cars. Mr. Schrackle says he was looking, that he was paying attention, so he should have seen those things. But he didn't. Just like he should have seen Mr. Williamson. But he didn't. But all he had to do was look. Mr. Williamson crossed the crosswalk that day like he had so many other times. He had no reason to deviate from the route, and you didn't hear from anybody today who could be reliably trusted to say that that's what he did. But ultimately, it doesn't matter, because in the crosswalk or out of it, Mr. Schrackle should have and could have seen Mr. Williamson in time to avoid the collision. He had a duty as a careful driver to not hit pedestrians if he could help it. And he could have helped it. There was nothing in his way. Nothing stopped him. All he had to do was look. Find Mr. Schrackle 100% liable. Thank you. I have like a minute to get to class. I think I did eventually remember everything, although the delivery was really not that good. But I could see on the camera that I was on time, so that's something. All right, anyway, gotta go. Talk to you guys later.
Made it back and I didn't suck. I wish I could show you guys the actual recording of my closing that I gave in class, because it was so much better than the one you heard in the car. I was flowing. I felt the mock trial juices coming back. No, seriously, it was actually really good. I wish I could play it for you. It actually was recorded, but those recordings belong to the school and we are explicitly prohibited from distributing either the audio or the video of them. So I can't show you without getting in trouble, even though it's just me talking. Anyway, and you know, I appreciate your guys' help, because without the pressure of filming this video this week, I probably would not have practiced in the car and my closing probably would not have been as good. I am a firm believer that you have to get one full bad round out of you and then you can like come into what you actually prepared to do, if that makes sense. Ideally, you could do that full bad round while nobody's watching, but you know, posting it to the internet for everyone to see is fine too. First thing I have to go do tomorrow morning is go feed the cats. I told you guys I was cat sitting this weekend, right? And then I'm just doing clinic work pretty much all day. I have a meeting in the afternoon and then we're doing some field investigations and interviewing jurors in the evening, and that's pretty much my whole day. So I will see you guys in the morning and it will be a chill work day Friday. Just kidding, I'm not done yet, because I wanted to show you guys the 2 items that I got at the clothing swap for Women's Law Caucus today. The first item is the pants that I'm wearing, so I'm gonna grab you, move you down so you can see. Please ignore the socks, but these are Old Navy workwear pants. I think they're called pixie pants. There's definitely like a name for them that I've heard before, but I've never actually bought or tried on these pants. But I tried them on, they fit great. They kind of do that like 3/4 thing, so that you can wear strappy heels or boots or something if you want. I will still probably wear them with flats, but they're actually really cozy and thick and soft, so great, fantastic. And this is the black dress that I got. It's just a base layer dress that you can pretty much put anything on top of. It goes down pretty long, and then there is a small slit in the back so that you can actually walk without falling over. Yeah, both items fit great and they were free. Plus I got to donate several items that are really nice. I feel not bad giving them to Goodwill, but better giving them to other law students or the public defender's office, which will use them for indigent defendants who don't have court appropriate attire to wear. All the clothes that I donated today still fit me. They were still really nice quality. I just hadn't worn them in a really long time. It didn't seem like I was gonna wear them in the future. So I'm glad that they went to a better home and I could find some things to replace them. Good morning, it's Friday. I am filming this pretty early into my waking period, so not much has happened that you've missed out on, except that I put my breakfast, a lovely chocolate croissant from Trader Joe's, in the oven, and I called the doctor's office again because nobody decided to fix my prescription yesterday. What have we got going on today? Well, pretty much I think what I told you last night. After I'm done eating, I'm going to run over and feed the cats that I'm cat sitting. Then I'm working on clinic stuff. I have a meeting this afternoon, which was supposed to be happening right now, but the world of this clinic, man, all the attorneys constantly have so many different obligations and schedules to be working with, because if you think about it, they're representing countless clients across 5 different states in varying levels of their habeas or clemency or parole petitions, not to mention the investigation of new cases that are coming in all the time. So it's really not uncommon for our meetings every week to be canceled, postponed, scheduled, rescheduled again, because obviously the priority of the Midwest Innocence Project is to serve its clients, not, meet with law students. In the meantime, I'm going to be probably continuing to chip away at that project, reading the trial transcript for a different client, and prepping for the juror interviews that I'll be conducting with another classmate this evening. This is a really different experience than anything I thought I would be doing. We are basically going to be just going up to doors and knocking on them and saying, hey, do you want to talk to us about this case? What happened during the trial? What did you think about it? You may have heard that lawyers and, by extension, their law student interns are not supposed to talk to jurors. That is true during the trial phase. It's really important that the jury is not unduly influenced by anything that is not on the court record. A lot of places will instruct you to not even say good morning or, oh, great weather outside today in the elevator if you happen to ride with the jury, because you really don't want to be seen as trying to talk to them or convince them of your side of the case or bribing them or anything outside of everybody's view and agreement. But after the verdict is in from that trial, talking to jurors is fair game. If they want to talk to you, if they want to tell you what they said in the deliberation room, if they want to tell you what was important to them and what they considered and what they didn't, that's totally fine. So for this particular client, we are almost 2 decades out from his trial. It is more than okay to talk to the jurors, and so far some of them have been very interested in helping with his case. Obviously, will not be able to tell you what is said or not said in any of those conversations because it's confidential, but I'm hoping that I can tell you some interesting impressions of the experience. I need to get something in the neighborhood of 7 hours today to meet my weekly quota for the clinic, which I don't think is going to be a problem considering that the jury stuff will take us 4 to 5 hours at least, but it'll be a pretty chill morning and early afternoon before we leave for that trip. I think my breakfast timer is about to go off, so I will catch you guys a little bit later. Yummy! How many videos of this do you think I have on my channel? I'd say at least 4. Little conspirators. They have a buddy, but she's hiding. This doesn't really seem like a fair fight. Oh, this day. Cat sitting is done. I did pick up my prescription. Somebody figured that problem out, which is great. But then I got a parking ticket even though I paid for parking. So now I have to wait for that to be fixed and appealed. And I got family drama going on. I am cold. It is rainy outside. I can't get my mail because they're changing the mailroom floor. None of these problems are major, but it just feels like a lot of minor ones all building up, and I don't do well with that kind of situation. So now I'm back home and I'm gonna try to calm down. I don't know what, if anything else, I'm gonna vlog today because I'm just gonna be sitting at home and then driving to this juror stuff, and I can't film any of that. So the next time you hear from me could be tomorrow, could be in an hour, could be in 10 hours. I don't know. It'll be a surprise for both of us, but you'll know in 3, 2. So it's Saturday. I actually had every intention of vlogging again last night, but I fell asleep, so didn't do that. Yesterday, as predicted, I worked a lot on the clinic, took a very long drive down to interview some jurors, which, had mixed results. We didn't have a full conversation with anybody, but still did some productive things for the benefit of the team and our client, so that was good. I also got to talk on the phone with one of my best friends from college. That's always fun. And then I conked out because I was exhausted. Today, you might notice I'm a little bit more dressed up because I actually am timekeeping for a moot court competition. That just means that I don't have to speak or argue or judge or anything. I'm just there to make sure that nobody talks longer than they're supposed to. I also get to do the whole introduction of the judges, the oyez, oyez, oyez speech, which hopefully I don't totally screw up since it's half of the reason I'm there. I also just remembered that I have a lunch meeting with some of my friends from Bible study. I also have yet to start editing the video that I was planning to post today, so that's gonna be a big task. Hopefully I can get it up by the evening. It's a movie reaction, so if I succeeded, you will have seen that last week. But either way, this very long video of me rambling throughout my schedule for the week is almost coming to a close because it is day 7 out of 7. There's another cat in the sink. How you doing? The cats were so funny today. And the third one came out. I confirmed that it exists. The lunch got canceled, so I'm actually just gonna head back to my apartment to edit the video and eat before timekeeping around 3. Here is lunch. I just got a little fettuccine alfredo from Trader Joe's. Added some pepper, garlic, tomato, rotisserie chicken, spinach, basil, and Parmesan cheese. So I'm very excited for this. Okay, so I am about to start editing, and I thought I would show you a little bit of the behind the scenes of how that actually works. You can see here, I think, that I have iMovie pulled up, which is free. So that is what I use to edit all of the videos that you see. When I take a video on my camera, I obviously have a little card thing that I use, this little device I got on Amazon, to import the videos onto my computer, and I store everything out into these folders in my YouTube section of my computer. You probably can't read this, but it says complete, non-videos, edit, and film. So when I have an idea for a video, I put it in the film folder. When I have a video that I'm currently editing, it goes in the edit folder, and surprise, surprise, when I have a film that is complete and ready to be published, it goes in the complete folder. So I have like kind of a little system going on here. I am just real quick going to be importing the videos that I've already filmed for this video, as in this week in my life video. I'm just going to be importing those into the proper folder here while I am editing the JFK movie reaction video. Per usual, I have a editing snack today. It's chocolate covered cherries from Trader Joe's. Okie dokie, so here's how the sausage gets made. We import the videos, and then we go down here to the timeline. I'm gonna mute this real quick. My defaults are to have my introduction right here, which I probably need to update at some point. This is definitely from my first year of being on YouTube, and now we're on year 3. You guys know the intro music. You already heard it a long time ago now for this vlog. And then I also have my end screen here, which has my outro music. I always fade to black at the end. You might notice that my end screen by itself just has spaces for where the other elements of that end screen go. So if you watch all the way to the end of any of my videos, you'll see that the last little bit of me talking, last 10 or 15 seconds, goes to a smaller screen up here. And then the icon for my channel goes right here. I would import it in as a picture, but I actually don't have to because YouTube allows me to import it as a link to my channel page. And then right here and here, I have 2 videos that come up on my end screen so that people can keep watching something that might be of interest to them. Usually it's my most recent upload and then a video from my channel that the algorithm determines would be a good fit for that particular subscriber. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on here. I paid somebody on Fiverr a long time ago to do this little life as a law student thing at the end, which I really like, and I'm totally going to pay somebody to do again when I change my channel name after I graduate and become a lawyer. Which, if you didn't know, is something that I'm thinking about doing. I haven't completely decided if I'm going to make a second channel to talk about my life as a lawyer, or if I'm just going to change this channel name. I don't know. If you have opinions about that, feel free to let me know below. So first things first, we want to put my actual filmed introduction into the video. Something that's between 10 seconds and a minute, minute and a half at the most long, right before my introduction, like screen or whatever, like that little 10-second video plays, and then the actual content of the video goes in between these two segments right here. So let's go ahead and do that. It's usually whatever's right here at the bottom. We'll find out if that's true today.
Especially while they're in the jury room.
Nope.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Life as a Law Student.
There you go. That's how all my videos start. So we know that this is the right clip. Now I'm just gonna go through and chop it up. Okay, done with that. Well, not really done because I didn't finish. Probably going to publish this video tomorrow, so a day late. It's just a long and complicated one. Sometimes it takes time. But I got my mask on because I'm about to head into the school to do timekeeping. So I will see you guys at some point after that. Believe it or not, that is gonna be the end of this vlog. I ended up not feeling super well when I was timekeeping, so as soon as I was done with those duties, I came on home, put on pajamas, and I'm just chilling for the rest of the night, not doing anything in particular, maybe reading, watching some TV, working on the YouTube video. Nothing crazy going on here that is worth filming literally at all. But thank you so much for watching this week and coming along with me. This is probably the last proper week in my life video that I will be doing as a law student, although I'm sure I'll have other versions of this in the future on the channel. So if you're interested in that, if you have thoughts on that to share, please make sure that you subscribe and comment down below, like this video if you want to see more like it, and I will see you guys next week with another one. Until then, God bless.